Well, the suspect behind the mass shooting in the subway was arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court.
Last month, Frank James allegedly set off smoke grenades before firing a gun and injuring more than 24 people during morning rush hour. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor was in the courtroom and has more on what James told the judge.
During the manhunt for Frank James, James himself called Crime Stoppers to let them know his whereabouts in the East Village. Friday in court, he entered a plea of not guilty. He's facing charges of terrorist attack and other violence against a mass transportation system carrying passengers and discharging a firearm during a crime of violence. Can you explain his plea of not guilty? He suggested he wanted to be caught, but can you explain his plea of not guilty?
No comment, guys. Thanks.
The judge asked the 62-year-old how he was doing today, to which he responded, pretty good. He also gave his educational background, which included public school in the Bronx. I have a GED. I have some certificates from various trade schools. He said he understood the charges against him and was deemed competent to stand trial. On April 12th, it's alleged James set off smoke bombs and shot multiple passengers on an N subway train in Sunset Park, Brooklyn during the morning rush hour commute. More than 24 people were injured. No one was killed. Prior to the mass shooting, James posted rants on social media and YouTube, some notably about subway crime. According to investigators, James crossed state lines with a bag of weapons, including hatchets, pepper spray, fireworks, and gas canisters, and did a practice run the day before the attack to make sure the weapons worked properly. Frank James remains detained without bail. A status hearing on the case will be held July 25th. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. Outside of Brooklyn Federal Court, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.